Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we're doing a little bit of a microphone test with the new Boya BY M1 Pro Mark II. Now this is an improved version over the original Pro, which actually has some slightly lesser specs, slightly thinner sounding in my opinion, but you'll be hearing this as we go through the video. So I'm going to do a very quick unboxing, go through some of the specifications, you'll see them on the screen. They'll also be linked in the video description. You're actually listening at the moment to the Boya BY M1S, which at the moment is my preferred microphone. The other ones, the BY M1 and the BY M1 Pro, those all use a small LR22 battery, or LR44, whichever it is. Basically a small battery which you have to turn on the microphone to the correct setting, otherwise it doesn't work. And just to kind of compound why I'm making this video, I actually left my BY M1 Pro in the on position, left it in the bag, and it's basically flat, so I had to quickly scrub around to find a battery, which is the last thing you want if you're trying to make some content. So that is why the new BY M1 Pro 2 is so good, because it has basically all the features of the Pro, but we now don't need a battery, and also the sound stage seems to be a little bit wider, but like I said, you'll find out as we go through. So let's take a look and see what we actually get. So I've got the other one here. So this is the BY M1 Pro. We'll be listening to that a little bit later on. So this is the new version. So this is the BY M1 Pro 2. It's a slightly bigger microphone. The actual pack itself that you clip onto your belt or wherever you want to is slightly larger. So it is slightly heavier, looking like 10 grams heavier overall for the actual package itself. Otherwise, the specs are very similar. The cord length is still the same, that great 6-meter cord length, so you can run it to your camera, which is quite a distance away, and kind of hide the cables out of shot, that sort of thing. You've still got the same options on there, so you can switch between camera mode and or smartphone mode. There is also on the bottom a headphone jack, so you can monitor playback or basically hear what your microphone sounds like. Now there is a small caveat to that, that only works in smartphone mode. So if you're planning on plugging this into maybe your PC or your DSLR or mirrorless camera, those types of things on a standard 3.5mm jack, unfortunately the playback via the headphone jack at the bottom will not work. It only works in smartphone mode. So if you have a PC where you have a combo headset jack, it will work on that, but otherwise, yeah, don't rely on it. Also, another feature it's got is the 10 dB gain cut. So if you want to, you can actually remove some of the things. So if you're someone who suffers from plosives or mouth sounds, that sort of thing, all of which I suffer from, to be honest with you, and I still don't quite understand how that works. If taking away 10 dB, surely it hears the same thing. But anyway, I digress. So we'll be taking a look and seeing what that's all about. Here is the actual unit itself. So it comes with a Velcro strap around the cable, again 6 meters in length. You've got the actual kind of barrel capsule with the control buttons on. So like I said, you've got the 0 dB or minus 10 dB gain setting there, so you can reduce some of that. And also you've got the camera and smartphone option there. So if you want it into either mode, it's absolutely fine. You can leave it as it is. You don't have to worry about turning it off because there's no battery inside, which is absolutely excellent. On the back, little clip there to attach to things like your belt or your trousers, jeans, pants, whatever they call them, wherever you live. And then at the end you've got the microphone itself. So it is a omnidirectional microphone, condenser style. There is a foamy on the top that comes separate. I've installed that already, and also there is a clip to attach it to your clothing. I've currently got mine just here, so it's you can get an idea of where it's actually on my, because I'm wearing a black t-shirt and this is black, it kind of hides in, so you can't really see it at all, but it is just around here somewhere. Also included there is an instruction manual, and you do get a nice little bag as well. This is very common with Boya. They do change these every now and then, and I've actually got 3 of them on the desk for the various microphones I've got, and they do seem to last quite well. So even though they're just like a PU leather, they do seem to last the test of time. As do the microphones in general. They do come with a 2-year warranty. The only thing I find with mine, we have cats here, and because the actual cord is relatively, well, let's say enticing to cats, quite often the cats will get hold of these and either claw them or chew them, and then you get problems with the microphone because you're basically shorting out the wires inside, which is the only reason I've ever had to change these, or potentially because I'm fed up with changing batteries. Anyway, I'm digressing way too much. So now you've heard what this microphone sounds like. So this is the Boya BY M1S. We're going to swap over to the original Pro and see how that sounds in comparison. Okay, that's better. Now the microphone should be on. So that is what happens quite a lot. And if you're not monitoring the levels, or you don't have it on a screen somewhere so you can see what the levels are like, or have someone behind the camera, it's a real pain in the backside. So actually having to switch between the off mode and smartphone is yeah, slightly inconvenient for some people. Now currently we've got this set to the standard profile, so there's no 10 dB cut. So this is what the microphone sounds like. This is the Boya BY M1 Pro, and I'm now going to switch the setting to take away some of the gain. Okay, so now we are with the minus 10%, so this is the same microphone, with the minus 10 dB cut. It'd be interesting to see what it sounds like actually, and whether or not I need to add any more volume in post-production. If I have got to do that, I'll put it on the screen to say what the settings are. For those of you that are interested, actually on the camera itself, we're using the Lumix S5 II, and currently in camera I have the dB set to minus 12 dB, which is kind of common for most Panasonic cameras. Their input is rather hot. So anyway, that is the Boya BY M1 Pro with the 10 dB cut. We're now going to stop recording, and now we're going to switch over to the new BY M1 Pro 2 and see what that sounds like. Okay, so we're back with the Boya BY M1 Pro Mark II. Now I've had to make some adjustments in camera. I've actually recorded this segment already, and I had to re-record it because it seemed that the microphone levels were really, really low. Now I did say at the beginning that the Boya BY M1S, which is what we have been using, has an exceptionally high gain, or at least it seemed to, so I had to reduce the camera settings. I was using minus 12 dB in camera. I've now set it to 0 dB, so it's basically a flat signal, and we're just going straight in with the setting on here as being 0 dB, so we've got no cut on here whatsoever. I think actually, listening back to some testing I did a little bit earlier, this microphone seems to have a little bit more bass, a little bit more warmth to it. You'll have to let me know in the comment section if that is true or not. It does appear to me, just in first instances, that it does seem to have a little bit more bass to it. Again, please let me know your comments below. You maybe have much better speakers or ears than me and can probably detect it. So anyway, this is the Boya BY M1 Pro Mark II, currently set to the camera, 0 dB in camera and also 0 dB on the microphone. So let's go over now and switch it to the 10 dB cut. I'm guessing this is going to be very quiet, so I'm going to have to add some more in post-production. So there we go, that is now with the 10 dB, and I can see the levels are down a little bit on the camera. I can just see it peaking over there. Hopefully it sounds okay still. I will probably have to add some dB actually in post-production just to bring those levels back up. But do let me know what you think of the sound quality. Can you still hear things in the background? I know the wood burner is whistling a little bit again as it's drawing in air. It is quite chilly here in the UK at the moment, so we've got the wood burner going, and you can definitely hear a whistle of the air being drawn in. If I'm quiet, you may be able to hear that. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. That might be the beauty of the minus 10 dB gain. It's going to be one of those things, I think it's going to be a work in progress, trying to get my levels exactly right. If I do plan to use this going forward, which potentially I will do, again, depending what I feel like after the edit, and also coming back from feedback from you guys out there, because ultimately the audio quality is something which I'm trying to get right so that you can hear me and make the videos understandable, despite my Bristolian dialect. But anyway, overall, I think in terms of audio quality, it's a little bit on the quiet side, but hopefully it sounds a bit better. Let me know in the comments, like I said, which one you prefer the sound of, either the first one, which was the Boya BY M1S, or maybe you preferred the one which was second, which was the Boya BY M1 Pro, or potentially you prefer this one, which is the Boya BY M1 Pro Mark II. So I think it's going to wrap things up. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, smash the like button if you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, but with a slight more emphasis on tech stuff. Then hit the subscribe button and the chime notification, that way you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.